Good morning, everyone. Welcome to season two, episode one of the Courtside podcast. It's your host and your boy, Keelan Lee here. Welcome back, everybody. Happy Monday. Before we get started, I want to give a huge birthday shout out to one of my favorite people out there, Kiki Lockhairs. Kiki, happy 22nd birthday. I miss you every single day of the week. There's not a day that goes by where I miss you like crazy. I hope you have an amazing day. Let's talk soon and love you. But anyway, in today's video, we're going to be diagnosing pretty much what we always do, discuss what's going on across the NBA, give you my NBA playoff teams for the 2024-25 season for the East and the West. We're also going to talk about do our first ever courtside hierarchies for week one of the NBA season. Give you my week one picks and a bunch more. But before we get started, we have to address the elephant in the room, which is how I'm gonna be able to record some of these things. So yeah, but before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Two, turn that post notification bell. Three, like this video and comment down below. What games are you excited for opening week? Without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, so like I said, let's address the elephant in the room is me like recording like in terms of location. So as many of you guys know, I recorded my courtside podcast while living in South Korea. So the time zone was a little bit weird, and the timing was off. And I always like, if you follow my Instagram, always upload my story the day after record. So since then I'm now back in Portland. That is going to change a little bit. It might change from like Sundays to Mondays recordings. I don't know when, all right, because there's a lot of things going on in my personal life that I don't want to get into. But nevertheless, all you need to know is that I will be recording probably either every Sunday starting I think next week or starting every Monday if they don't have any primetime games. So it's either Sunday or Mondays. I will keep you guys in the loop. But yeah, so let's get into our first big segment of season two, episode one of the Courtside podcast, which is the Kawhi Leonard news. As many of you guys heard or may not have heard, Kawhi Leonard is out to start the 2024-25 season for the Los Angeles Clippers. And my immediate reaction to this is I am still like I'm shocked. You know, the fact that why it's out kind of concerns me a little bit, not just because, I don't like injuries and stuff like that, is that like I to this day still don't understand why they gave Kawhi the Supermax and not Paul George. Now, I understand the Clippers did not want to be financially screwed like some of the other teams are. But like the Clippers, they don't have a lot of time. Like James Harden, for example, is like 35, 36 years old. All right. He's not getting any younger. All right. Who's your next best player if Kawhi's out? Norman Powell? Like seriously. And to this day, I am still like shocked that a lot of people are saying that Kawhi Leonard is a better player than Kevin Durant. Not trying to glaze KD or anything, but like I think it was after he won the finals, people were saying that, oh, Kawhi Leonard's the best player in the world, or Kawhi's better than Braun, KD, Giannis. Like after that finals run in Toronto, like I still wonder, is that like do they still believe that? Like it drives me nuts now to see it like what is it 5 years later, and like I still wonder if some of these like media people are saying Kawhi Leonard's the best player in the world, which I don't know. And to me, I understand now why Paul George left. Paul wanted to stay. The Clippers said we didn't want we want to be in the second apron. But if you knew Kawhi was going to get hurt, you knew this was going to happen. Like you had no other choice. All right. So yeah, to sum it up, I just think the Clippers are now officially just they're done. Like I'm sorry to all my Clippers fans out there, especially our good friend Aiden Kent there. I know he's happy about the Liberty winning, but You guys are dumb. I'm sorry to say that. That's all it is. All right, so let's get into our first part of the segment, which is basically unveiling my teams for the playoffs for the 2024-25 season. Keep in mind, I didn't watch a ton of preseason, so don't call me a blazer or something like that. This is based on how I think each team is going to do. So my criteria is how well you did in the offseason, how well, if you had any picks, draft, for example. Uh, did you do anything in the free agency? Did you spend any money? Did you get a new coach? And how well do you match up with some of the teams that made the playoffs last year? All right. And this is strictly based on everyone's health. Like, there's no, like, I know the Clippers kind of screwed, but like, this is based on health. Like, everyone's healthy, the injury button's off, basically. All right. So let's pull up to the tier list of no, this is the wrong tier list. Yeah, this is it. All right. So here is the tier list. As you can see, I'm pulling up my screen right now, which is here. So here we go. Here is the eighth through one seed. So we have the eighth seed at the bottom, seventh seed at the bottom, seventh seed, sixth seed, fifth seed, fourth seed, went up. All right, so we're gonna go with the Eastern Conference first because I think I know the East by now. So at the eighth seed, the team that I think is gonna finish eighth in the East this year will be da, 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 da. I'm gonna say the team that finishes eighth this year would be. I'm gonna go with the Miami Heat again. I just think they didn't do a whole lot this offseason that made me go, wow, this team is back. But I think they're gonna be one of the tougher eight seeds in the league right now. I just think like anytime you got the three-headed monster and Jimmy, Bam, and Eric Spoelstra, you're gonna get an absolute like you're gonna be pushed basically. All right, peeking at the seventh seed in the East, I have. Oh, this is where it gets tough for me. Seventh seed, I'm gonna go. Jeez, like the East has gotten a lot better. Seventh seed in the East. Give me the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. I love their team. I love Donovan Mitchell. I love Darius Garland. Max Strus, who's one of their best role players, is out, which concerns me a little bit. And they didn't do a whole lot this offseason. I know they got Kenny Atkinson as their new head coach, but it is what it is. All right, the sixth seed, and this might come to shock to you guys. All right, this might sound crazy. I got the Milwaukee Bucks finishing at the sixth seed. I I just don't know what to make of this team heading into this year. Yeah, Dame and Giannis, they're really good. All right, but Chris Middleton's gonna be out for quite a while. All right, your roster is like old. You're financially screwed. I don't know. It's just tough for me to say Milwaukee as a top five seed. And number five, give me the Orlando Magic. I really do think this team is a sleeper team. All right, they got shooting. All right, I think Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner are going to take another step. Jalen Suggs is starting to become one of the premier shutdown defenders. Not saying he's like the best, but the way he's been playing defense, like he's getting better and better. I got Orlando at number five. At number four, I got the Philadelphia 76ers, man. Look, the Sixers to me, wait, no, actually, no, not the Sixers. Excuse me. I'm sorry. The Pacers. The Pacers are number four on this list. I just really love this team. They're young, they're feisty, they're frisky. Tyrese Halliburton looks like a top 10 point guard in this league. I do think they're going to get much better, especially with Ben Mathurin coming back healthy. Like this team is still a very feisty team to play against, and you're gonna have to figure out a way to shut them down, or else it's gonna be a long game. All right, at number four, at number three, give me the Philadelphia 76ers. Look, I think the Sixers are a great team. They're like, all right, if healthy. That's the biggest factor. If they can stay healthy, Embiid, Maxey, and George can stay healthy, and they play each of them, Paul, Joel, and Tyrese play like 70 to 75 games, they could be a top three seed. But that's a big if. Number two, give me the New York Knicks. I mean, what can you say? Like this team got much better. They re-signed OG Anunoby. They got Mikal Bridges. They got the center they needed in Karl Anthony Towns. Because if you want to be Joel Embiid, Giannis, Bam, Franz Wagner, Paolo, you need a big. And that's why they lost Isaiah Hartenstein because they couldn't keep him. Luckily, they got Karl Anthony Towns. I do think that this team is probably going to be the most interesting team heading into this year. I got the Knicks at two. And number one, I think this is like a no-brainer at this point. Number one, I'm gonna go with the Boston Celtics, best team the past couple years. All right, they're bring the whole team back. Although I do worry about Kristaps' health, but Al Horford seems to be like young Al Horford in a way, like he's like getting better and better. They got the two best, who I think are the two best shutdown defenders in the league, in Drew Holiday and Derek White. And as long as you got Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, each averaging 25 points a game, you're cooking. All right, peeking at the Western Conference. Now, this one was hard for me, so bear with me when I say this. Number eight, I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Lakers. All right, look, at number eight, actually, no, I'm not going to go with the Lakers. Eight, I'm gonna go Golden State. All right. Look, as long as you got Steph Curry on your team, all right, and Steph Curry on your team, you have a puncher's chance. I like what they did this offseason, getting Buddy Hield, Kyle Anderson, but to me, it depends on two people. Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga. If those two can give Steph a boost offensively, like this team is gonna be good. Number seven, I'm gonna go with the New Orleans Pelicans. I really like this team. All right, they're feisty. All right. Now they have to stay healthy because, like I've been saying in my all my NBA videos, this team has to stay healthy, like no matter what. If they can stay healthy, this team is probably the most scariest team in the league. At number six, and this might come to shock to you guys. I'm gonna go the Minnesota Timberwolves. Like they got worse, is what I gotta say. I know Anthony Edwards is an up and rising star, but to me, they don't have now like a big that can shut down Jokic, and that's like really scared in the West because if you're in the West, you gotta go through AD, Jokic, all right, KD, Braun, and like all these great players in the West. So but I do think though they will make the playoff. At number five, I'm sorry, I have to put them up here at five. Give me the Phoenix Suns, man. I will literally I still think that this trio of Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal can work. All right. Also, people tend to forget that this trio played like 41 games last year. Yeah, Brad was out for like two of them had to leave early, but like for the majority part, they played like 41 games left. And now they have a point guard. Imagine and how scary this team's gonna be. At number four, give me the Memphis Grizzlies, man. I'm really high on the Memphis Grizzlies this year. I think they're like a very like under the radar kind of team. You know, they kind of remind me a little bit like the 49ers of the what was it, the 2021-22 season where they were flying under the radar a little bit. That's the Memphis Grizzlies for you. All right. Ja is healthy. Desmond Bain is healthy. Jaren Jackson Jr. is healthy. This team's a top four team in the West. At number three, and this might shock y'all, I'm gonna go the Dallas Mavericks, man. I think Dallas is a really good team. All right. But I'm just curious to see how like Clay is gonna do. Like Clay is an X factor. Obviously you got Luca and Kyrie. You brought back pretty much most of your team back, minus Tim Hardaway Jr. I think they're gonna be a good team, but they gotta stay like healthy is my question. At number two, and this is gonna come to a shock to you guys, I got the OKC Thunder. Let's I know I'm coming off as like a Thunder hater or something, but let's be honest about this team. Had Brandon Ingram and Zion been healthy, that playoff matchup last year, this series would have been a lot longer than just 4 games. And I also think they're very young as well. They're very young as well. But I do like what they did this offseason. And at number one, I think this might come shock everyone. I'm gonna say the Denver Nuggets. I think the Denver Nuggets, all right, they still got the best player in the world, Nikola Jokic. Um, they re-signed Jamal Murray, who can give you 20 a night. I do worry about their depth. That's the one thing that concerns me. But like it's like with the Warriors in the aspect with Steph Curry in the aspect of like as long as you got Jokic, you got to change. And that is my official top 8 playoff teams for the East and the West. And yes, I don't have the Clippers or the Lakers or the Kings in the playoffs. It's just the West is just so stacked. Like it's so like, and I said this in my NFL videos. As if unless you had like KD, Book, and Brad out for the season, Luca out for the season, Shea, all these guys out for the season, that's the only way I can make a like case for the Kings. The Clippers and the Lakers, like they're both like screwed. All right. I know LeBron and AD are still there, but like it is what it is. So what do you guys think of my official playoff rankings for the 2024-25 NBA season? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, peeking into our next segment of the show, we are going to be doing my first ever. We're going to not first ever predicting how many wins each NBA team will have for the 24-25 season. Now, keep in mind, this is a lot harder than you think because I have like there's a lot of good teams in the league right now, but like, it is what it is. All right. Like I said in the intro, I said in the beginning, this is solely based on health, for some teams and just how I think they did. All right. So here we go. Here's the tier list. We have the tier of 20 or fewer wins, meaning they're still in rebuild mode. They're still going to tank. Then we have the 20 to 30 wins, meaning they're kind of in rebuild mode a little bit, you know, but like they're not like contending for a top 3 draft pick is what I'm saying. Then we have the 30 to 40 wins, meaning they're going to be middle of the pack here and there. They're going to be a good team. They're going to be fighting for a playing spot. Then we have the 40 to 50 wins, meaning they're going to be like a top 4 or 5 seed in the league in their conference, and then 50 or more is like top 2. All right, let's start with the Atlanta Hawks. I think they get 30 to 40 wins. I think this team is very young. Obviously, you got Trae Young. All right, they did Trae Young. They got Zachary Ushise, which to like if they want Trae Young, it's a full on rebuild and stuff like that. But right now, I think this team is 30 to 40 wins max. Moving on, we got the Boston Celtics. I think they get 50 or more. All right. I understand there's no Kristaps Porzingis, but they still got Drew Holiday. They still got Derek White. They still got the Jalen's. Like, this team's still going to be good. Up next, we got the Brooklyn Nets. I think the Nets are going to get 20 or fewer. I think they're going to be in that type of rebuild mode, if you know what I mean. They got some of their draft picks back. from the Knicks. All right. And I think they're gonna be in the way. They're gonna be like the Thunder in terms of like they're gonna be hoarding a lot of draft picks. So they're gonna be trading a lot of their veterans on their team to make this team even more and more younger. Up next, we got the Charlotte Hornets. I think they get 20, 20 or fewer as well. Like I love this Hornets team. LaMelo Ball, Mikal Bridges, Brandon Miller is a very good young trio to watch out for, but like 20 or fewer is their best bet. Up next, we got the Chicago Bulls. I think they get, I would say 30 to 40 wins, maybe around 30 to 35, just because like this team is still going to be like tough to play against, you know. But just like it's like what I said earlier, like the East is just really hard for me to put the Bulls in the playoffs. I do think they're gonna fight for a play-in spot though, just because I think Lonzo coming back is gonna be huge, but it's just not gonna be enough. Up next, we got the Cavs. I think the Cavs could get 40 to 50 wins. Maybe 40 to 45 is what I'm gonna be guessing. Look, I think Donovan Mitchell is their best player. They still got Darius Garland. And I think Kenny Atkinson is going to figure out a way to make Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland play with each other. If you know what I mean. Up next, we got the Dallas Mavericks. I also am going to put them at 40 to 50 wins. I don't know. It's hard for me to put like them over there, like when you know, like you got Luka, you got Kyrie, you know. But it is what it is. Moving on, we got the Denver Nuggets. I think they get 50. I really do. It's like what I've been saying. As long as you got Nikola Jokic, you have a chance. Moving on, we got the Detroit Pistons. Yeah, I think they get 20 or fewer wins. Like this team is like probably one of the youngest teams in the league that's not fighting for a playoff spot. They do have some young guys on their team like Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, but like they're gonna get 20 to 4 or fewer wins. Up next, we got the Warriors. I think they get 30 to 40 wins. I think they get 30 to 40 wins, if I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Like this team is still good because they still got Steph. My worry is Draymond's antics. That's the one big thing I have a worry on, but you know, it is what it is. Up next, we got the Houston Rockets. I think they could get I think they could get they're gonna be in the Bulls. Like they're gonna get 30 to 40 wins, but like they're gonna get they're gonna get probably exactly 40 or like 39 or 40. Next game, we got the Pacers. I do think they're gonna get 40 to 50 wins. I really do. Like this team to me is probably one of the more talented teams in the league. You know, they're very young, they're feisty, they're annoying, but like, you know, this team is up and coming. Up next, we got the Clippers. I'm gonna say I think they get 40, but they miss the playoffs. Like obviously you got Harden and you got Norman Powell on your team, but right now, like they're just in a mess. Up next, we got the Lakers. They're gonna get 40. I didn't. I look. Dalton Connect is a stud. He is an absolute stud. The problem is that the Lakers didn't do anything this offseason to convince me otherwise. Now I do worry that the Lakers are gonna do really well just because of how well AD and LeBron played in the Olympics. But like this is the same old roster, people. Up next, we got the Memphis Grizzlies. I think they get 40 to 50 wins. Like I said, this team is a slept on team in this upcoming season. And I do think Ja is out for revenge. Up next, we got the Miami Heat. I think they get 40 wins, but they make the playoffs as well. Like I said with the Lakers, they're gonna get 40 wins, but they miss the playoffs. I think the Heat are gonna get 40 wins, but they're gonna make the playoffs. Up next, we got the Milwaukee Bucks. I honestly think they could get 43, 44 wins. Like that's how many wins I think they're gonna get. Obviously, you got like Giannis and Dame, who are like a top 10 1-2 punch, but Chris Middleton's out. Your roster is probably the oldest roster in the league right now, like average wise. I say 40 to 50 win. Up next, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think they get 47 wins. 40, 40 did I have them? Where did I have them? Like 40 wins? Yeah, I think they're gonna get like 40 to 44 wins, maybe. I think this team is still like Anthony Edwards. It's now Anthony Edwards' time to shine. I think he's gonna take another leap, and I do think the Timberwolves are gonna get 40 to 45 wins, but it's not gonna be easy. Up next, we got the Pelicans. If we're going solely based on health, I think this team could get 45 wins. This team is going to be very scary if they're healthy. All right? Like you got Zion who looks like muscular than ever. All right, you got Brandon Ingram. All right, you got DeJounte Murray, one of the best young guards in the league. My concern is are they going to trade for a center? Is my big question, but we'll just have to wait and see. Up next, we got the Knicks. I think they're going to get 50 wins. I'm really high on the Knicks. I think they're going to be a good team, very feisty, but it is what it is. Up next, we got the Thunder. I also think they're going to get 50 wins. They're all right. This team is still going to be annoying to play against. Because they got Shea, J-Dub, and Chet. They got a center. They got to shut down the defender in this league. We'll just have to wait and see how the Magic happens. Speaking of the Magic, I think they could get 42, 41, 42, 43 wins. I think this team is a very slept-on team. Like I've been saying, this team looks really good. All right, I think Paolo Banchero is going to take another step. Adding a guy like KCP, who's a veteran, who knows how to win, is huge. I think the Magic get 40 to 45 wins. Up next, we got the Sixers. If they can stay healthy, I think this team could get 49 wins at best. This team could get 49 wins. All right, obviously, Embiid, Maxey, and George's health is huge. But if all three of them can stay healthy and, like I said, play 70, 75 games individually, this team could get 50 wins. Up next, we got the Phoenix Suns. I think they get 49 wins. I really love Phoenix this year. All right, they got a point guard in Tyus Jones. I still think this trio with Booker, Beal, and Durant can work with each other. And they have decent depth, I just hope they can stay healthy. Up next, we got the Blazers. I think they get 25 wins. I think we're going to be a lot better than people expect us to. I think we could go 25 and 57 maybe, just because I really love what I saw out of Donovan Clean, Scoot. Now obviously there's a lot of injuries on this team. So right now I say 20 to 25. Up next, we got the Sacramento Kings. I think they get 40. I think they get 40, but like the Lakers, they missed the playoffs. This team is a great offensive team. But the reason why the Kings got bounced in the first round when they made the playoffs was because of their defense. They don't have a good defense. All right. And they added DeMar DeRozan, who is good, but DeMar's not a shutdown defender. Up next, we got the Spurs. I think they could get 30 to 40 wins. I think they could get 30. I think they could get 30 to 35 wins. Don't sleep on San Antonio, man. They have a pretty solid team right now. They got they got Chris Paul, Devin Vassell. All right. Harrison Barnes is a veteran. Obviously, we know what Victor Wembanyama is going to do, of course. I think they get 30 to 40 wins. Next up, we got the Raptors. I think they could top at exactly 30. This team is still annoying to play against. They're very frisky, and they may play some spoiler here. Up next, we got the Utah Jazz. I think they also get 30 as well. I just think right now, the way they're at right now, they have a lot of draft picks. They still got young pieces on their team. My question is, when are they going to trade Lauri Markkanen? That's a big question. And finally, we got the Wizards. I think they're going to get 20 or fewer wins this year. I just think this team is still young. They still got love pieces together. I would say they get 30, probably 16 wins. And that is my official predictions on how many wins each NBA team is going to have for the upcoming season. All right, so let's get into our next segment, which I've been wanting to do for quite some time, and that is unveil the courtside hierarchy for week one of the NBA season. If you guys remember this, I did this last year where I basically ranked the top 10 teams according to myself, and that's basically how it works every single week. So let's go through the tier list, shall we? All right, so here we go. We have the courtside hierarchy rankings up here. All right, so let's start with the top 10 teams according to me. So we're going to start at number 10, and my top 10 team is the Phoenix Suns. I still think that this trio of Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant can work with each other, can play with each other. My only issue is, can we get more than 41 wins with this team? We'll just have to wait and see. At number 9, I'm going to go the Miami Heat. I really love what Miami has done. I really didn't like what Miami did this offseason, but like you got Bam, you got Jimmy Butler, and you got Eric Spoelstra on your team. Anytime you have to deal with those three, you're in for a rough out. All right, number 8, I'm going to go the Minnesota Timberwolves, man. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Timberwolves. I really wish they did some more this offseason, Obviously, losing Cat is a huge deal. But right now, this team right now looks interesting. Number 7, give me the Milwaukee Bucks. Yes, I have the Milwaukee Bucks at the 7th seed at the top. That was my top 7 teams. Look, they still got Dame. They still got Giannis. They got Chris Middleton. My only issue with this team is, can they play more than 7 games? Or I think they played like 20 games last year, the 3 of them. That's my biggest question. We'll have to wait and see. All right, at number 6, give me the Dallas Mavericks, man. Look, I still think this Dallas team is one of the best teams in the league right now. My only question is, how well is Clay gonna mesh with Luka and Kyrie? Number 5, give me the Philadelphia 76ers. Where are the Sixers? Oh, yeah, the Sixers are here. All right. I think the Sixers are a good team. They're very well coached. My only issue is, can Joel Embiid stay healthy for a full season without any injuries, as well as Paul George? At number 4, I am going to take – who would I take in number 4? God, who do I have in my top 4 now that I think about it? Number 4. Oh, yeah. Number 4, give me the Memphis Grizzlies. Yeah. Number 4, give me the Memphis Grizzlies. People tend to forget, last year was they had the worst injury luck out of any team in the league. And they had led the league, actually, I think, in most lineup changes, which is nuts. Now everyone's coming back healthy. I think this team is going to be nasty. At number 3, number 3. Wait, actually, no, number 4, actually, give me the OKC Thunder. I really forgot. OKC, man. Yeah, OKC. I love what they did this offseason and adding Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein. My only concern with this team is, are they ready to take that next step? We'll just have to wait and see. But for now, I think they're a top 4 team in the league. At number 2, give me the New York Knicks, man. This Knicks team, I'm not going to lie, this Knicks team is going to be fun to watch. All right? You got Jalen Brunson, you got Mikal Bridges, you got OG Anunoby, and Karl Anthony Towns. This team's going to be fun. At number 2, give me the Denver Nuggets. All right, I still think Denver is still one of the best teams in the league. They kind of remind me of the Warriors in the aspect of as long as you got Nikola Jokic, you have a chance to win. So for now, I think they're the second best team. All right, and number 1, I think I'm getting annoyed by saying number 1 is the Boston Celtics. I just think right now this team is like one of the best teams in the league. All right. They're returning most of their guys. I really like the Celtics team heading to the season, despite not having Kristaps Porzingis. And that is the official courtside hierarchy for week one of the NBA season. All right, to wrap things up, we're gonna get into my week one opening week, excuse me, picks for the 2024-25 season. So obviously, as you guys know, we do this with football. I go through all the primetime games heading into this week and basically pick who I think is going to win and then recap it the following next week. All right, we're going to start with the Knicks and the Celtics. I'm going to take the Knicks and the Celtics to win. Knicks and the Celtics. Game one of with these two bitter rivals, and also game one of the regular season. I'll show you on my screen. I'm going to take the Celtics to win this game. I just think the Celtics are the much better team than people are going to say. I'm going to take the Celtics in a close one. I'm going to take the Celtics in a close one. Moving on, we got the Timberwolves and the Lakers. I'm going to take, actually, I'm believe it or not, I'm going to take the Lakers. I really do. I do think like losing like Karl Anthony Towns is going to hurt because I think Anthony Davis is going to feast. But like, they still got LeBron who's gonna go 100 miles an hour. Give me the Lakers. Next game, we got Bucks and Sixers. Man, I'm gonna take the Sixers to win this game. Look, I like this Bucks don't have Chris Middleton, and that's huge because he's their third best player on their team. All right, whereas the Sixers, other than the not playing the back-to-backs, this team looks really good. All right, they got some depth on their team. My only issue is, can the Sixers actually win this game? I know it's a regular season game, but it is what it is. Next game, we got the Suns and the Clippers. Yeah, give me Phoenix all day long. All right. No Kawhi, that's a big blow. All right. I do expect the Clippers to keep it close, but give me KD over James Harden. Next game, we got the Spurs and the Mavs. I am going to actually take the Mavs to win this game. I think Victor is going to go off in this game, but just Luka Doncic, man, is a different breed. Next game, we got the Thunder and the Nuggets. Believe it or not, I'm going to take the Thunder. All right. I worry a little bit about the Nuggets' depth, heading into this year, just because they don't have a lot of that. But the Thunder, I just think that they're a really good team. Up next, we got the Pacers and the Knicks. I'm going to take the Knicks. I'm going to take the Knicks to win this game. I just think the Knicks are a better team. All right. I do expect the Pacers to make it fun because they always make it fun. But in the end, I'm going to just take the team that has the better talent in the Knicks. Up next, we got the Suns and the Lakers. Yeah, give me the Phoenix Suns, man. All right. Yeah, I have the Suns going 2-0. As Lil Uzi Vert said, I don't really care if you cry. I think the Suns are a much better team than the Lakers. I do expect the Lakers to keep it close, but, just give me Phoenix. Next game, we got the Clippers and the Nuggets. I am going to take the Nuggets to win this game. All right. I just think the altitude's a huge factor. I know I didn't say that for the Thunder, but the Clippers, what do you make of them? Up next, we got the Mavs. Oh, I think this was the Magic. Excuse me. The Magic and the Grizzlies. I'm going to take the Grizzlies to win this game. I think the Grizzlies are a very good team, and I think they're coming in with some vengeance heading into this year. And finally, we got the Kings and the Lakers. I'm going to take the Kings to win this game. Domantas Sabonis has owned Anthony Davis in the last 16 matchups. I expect that to happen heading into their first meeting. So what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with or disagree with? Let me know in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode of the Courtside Heart Podcast, season number 2. We're back, baby. All right. I hope you guys have a fantastic Monday. I know Mondays are the dull of the week. Stay safe because it's getting really cold here in Portland, Oregon. Have a fantastic rest of your day. All right. And until next time, I'm out.